They said it wouldn't happen, and it has happened.
Call to come back.
This is it. It has happened.
It is happening right now, in fact. As you listen, season 3 of Staircase to Nowhere has begun. Walking up the staircase 10 more rungs to nowhere.
And here you are, our first listener. This one's just for you, releasing one specific episode just for the first person to press play, and then we delete this episode. So it's a special episode just for you.
Yeah.
That's
For
not true.
your eyes only.
Oh, another Arrested Development reference.
Eyes only.
We're not rusty at this at all, guys.
Mm-mm.
All right. We're just...
Well, I mean, the last time that you guys all heard us, we were all sitting in the same room. And we have not been in the same room in a long time, in fact. But a lot has happened in our lives, you guys. This is Staircase to Nowhere. It's your ministry and culture podcast. It's where we work out what it looks like to follow Jesus, serve him in ministry in our context. And some of our contexts have changed. David, why don't you start with your big life update?
Yes. Well, I bought a new shovel, and it has changed my life, man. I tell you what, a new
and that's the
spade
scoop?
changed.
Nice.
Yeah, we're funny boys. No. In case you didn't know, my wife and I are married to each other, and
for a long time now,
for many moons, and part of that is the exciting news that there will be another member of the party joining.
Hey,
Baby Neil, yet to be
John Wesley Neal will be joining the family.
yet to be publicly gendered. That's a weird way to phrase that. Anyways, we
gendered.
We know what the baby is. We just haven't told anyone yet. So
this is the perfect opportunity
to tell
everyone all at once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here on the
The
pod.
in-laws are listening closely.
We're recording this at the end of February, and I've known for about a week what we're having, and I am diamond hands, man. I have not let it slip. I think I almost let it slip once, but I'm doing pretty well. But I think we're trying to figure out the guys in the building I manage want a gender reveal party for them. So if anyone has any creative ways to tell 300 men the gender of a baby that they have little to do with, let me know.
Common problem. I'm sure lots of our listeners will
have been in this exact
if you have been in this scenario, please let me know.
Situation.
Wow. David, introduce your job for those who forgot over the long hiatus.
I work at the Taylor University, just like the Ohio State, but a better version. And I'm a resident hall director of a men's dorm, and also am a non-paid minister at a church here in town. So,
very good.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah. So you have hundreds of boys that you wrangle.
Yes. Whatever kid we have, they will have a lot of brothers. See, again, did a good job not gendering
they will
the
be
baby.
a good brother?
Yes, a younger brother. I know.
Well,
I'm feeling like they're having a girl. I'm reading the girl coming up.
We'll do it. We'll put a poll.
Would I be a better girl dad or boy dad? Well, dads are traditionally men, so.
Man, full of zingers. Okay, Noah, you try to top a pregnancy, but you give a little update on your life.
Because me and Rebecca are also taking a new job at my church.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I started a new job, you guys.
Wait, I actually got my hopes up. I was like, this would be a crazy way to find out you were.
You really thought I was about to do that?
No, I didn't think so. But then I thought
I was gonna
more.
Tell you to make different life decisions. And
Yeah,
that's how
there are better ways to tell us. On the podcast.
Our life is content, ladies.
Okay, sorry
ladies?
guys. I have to do.
Why just the ladies?
I have to do a quick break too. There was an SNL sketch about men going to the doctor, and in order to make men want to go to the doctor, they turned it into a podcast.
No.
Yes. And so like the men think that they're going to a podcast, but they're like asking them like medical questions.
No.
And they're like, oh, it's cool. And they're like sharing all this very private stuff, but they like think it's public.
That's hilarious.
And there's like two people in chairs next to them like, oh, no, that's crazy.
Yeah. What's your group member number?
Yes.
And how long have you been having this issue?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's great.
So, just basically to say that men like struggle to like have friends or real conversations unless they're broadcasting it to everybody.
I don't get this reference.
I don't get it. No. I don't understand. Yeah. Okay. So
anyway, yes, I started a new job. My title here on Staircase Nowhere, ever since we began the podcast, has been seminary student. However, now my title is Director of Local Outreach and Student Discipleship.
Wow. Wait. Why no longer seminary student?
Oh, I graduated from that.
Oh my goodness. Little
Look
smarty pants over here.
Mm-hmm, wow. Mm-hmm.
Me and David now have the same education.
We are fully educated.
I'm catching up.
You got to get there, Sam.
I've got no more room to grow.
This podcast requires 3 MDiffs.
Oh, wait, and no diversity of thought. It has to be a master's degree from a Baptist or Wesleyan seminary.
That's what I require.
Well, and Noah, share about the church that you're working for now.
Exactly. The name of the church is redacted because, no, I'm kidding.
It's a cool name for a church.
Actually, so it's Resonate Church is the church that Rebecca's been a part of since she moved to Atlanta over 6 years ago. And the church that I've been a part of since I moved about 1.5 years ago. I was volunteering. I got to be an intern. I was graduating. I said to my pastor, like, I'd really love to work in youth ministry. I love local outreach. That's really what I'd love to do. If there was any opportunities here, I would appreciate. We prayed, and then God provided. And they were able to start a new position that they've never had before. And I was able to come on the staff team, and it's been just a really great start. Like getting to work with a staff that I've known now for over 1.5 years, and parents that I've known, and students that I've known in this neighborhood. So really just learning the ropes, learning local outreach stuff. We do a lot of like ministry to the poor in our community, and so trying to figure out what are the best resources. And I've had to tap on Sam's knowledge in this area a few times, and like call him and be like, this is a work call. Like this
strictly business, bro. Yeah.
This is business. I'm going to need your knowledge. And then also just with youth ministry, getting to build a youth ministry. And we have an amazing volunteer team. We've got 19 6th through 12th grade students in the whole church.
Let's go.
Who's your favorite?
Redacted. But just getting to know them more and wanting to see them discipled, it's been really sweet. We got to take out 3 of the middle school boys to get milkshakes and then walk on the Atlanta Beltline, which is like our hip, trendy urban trail that we have here.
Nice.
And I told the boys we were going to go walk the Beltline. It's like downtown and super cool and stuff. And they're like, whoa. And one said, what's the Beltline? And another said, it's this really cool sidewalk.
This is what us trendy people live for. Really cool sidewalks.
Oh, dang. Like, it does not sound cool when you say it like that. But we had so much fun walking on the cool sidewalk.
That's amazing.
Why is the sidewalk cool?
Because it goes right through the heart of downtown. It used to be a railroad that wraps all the way around the city of Atlanta. And now they're turning it into a walking trail that goes all the way around the city, connecting all these neighborhoods. And they're building up housing and businesses around it. And it's creating a lot of like density and vibrancy. And there's parks. And it's beautiful. It's exactly what you want in urbanism.
Comment below if you're a big fan of sidewalk.
So, Sam, what you been up to?
Nothing nearly as exciting as you guys. I'm going last because I have no I have not graduated with any masters.
Please.
Well, I have had other seasons in my life where I would not say that, but this one, we've just been pushing along. It's been good.
Talk about your Florida room.
Yeah,
I will know you did something with the Florida room.
I'll introduce myself in case anybody's new. My name is Sam. I'm a director of street and community outreach in Louisville, Kentucky. I oversee a program that provides street outreach support and daytime case management and crisis services for homeless young adults and teenagers here in the city. And my exciting news is we finally landed on a color for our sunroom,
Let's go.
so many swatches in the making.
You guys don't even know everything that went into this.
You don't even understand. So you're a father, you're a master's graduate, and I have a very lovely sunroom now.
It's a great room.
It's actually truly it's been a great season for all of us. So I'm really glad that we're back.
I'm glad we get to celebrate this together
for season 3. Yeah, this is exciting.
So season 3, you guys, when we're thinking about this new season, our desire is just to have these conversations about things that we are interested in, things that are engaging us, topics that are important in this culture, and just kind of toss it out there for us to think through. How are we thinking about these things right now? We want to think through it with a biblical lens. We want to think through it with our culture in mind. And the conversation that we want to have today is on social media. Okay? Because, you guys, I feel like social media has really changed over the years. And in fact, Rebecca and I both have not been on social media for the last 2 months. And I have been considering just deleting it altogether. It feels drastic even to tell Facebook, my Facebook account, my Instagram account, delete everything.
Burn it all.
Yes, the friends list, the photos, get rid of it.
Yeah. What happened 2 months ago? Or what led to that 2 months ago?
So Rebecca always does social media fast in January. That's her thing. And this year, she just literally did not want to reopen it back up.
Yeah.
For me, I read this book called The Anxious Generation. And its main thesis that I'll talk a little bit more about in this episode is that the rise in mental health crisis today among Gen Z is due to the fact that a play-based childhood in which kids go outside and play and make friendships in the real world, like everybody had throughout all of human history, has been replaced by a phone-based childhood in which people are not learning human relationships, they're not learning human interactions, they're not learning to take risks, and they're ending up fragile and anxious and fearful, and they don't know how to do stuff. And the things that they're learning on social media are not good skills for the real world.
Okay, I get it. This episode's targeted at me for my kid.
Because David, you're having a little girl, and social media harms girls more than boys.
Oh,
is the name of one of his chapters.
He's nodding.
He's nodding, and then the chapter right after that is all about how much pornography has affected boys more than girls, and video games. But it's very interesting, the stuff that people do on the phones, the social media, the video games, and the porn. It's all very bad.
Yeah.
It's we knew.
Breaking news.
We knew that.
Yeah.
No one's felt better after doing any of that. So.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. But, so for me, the reason that I was I'm getting off of social media, and I want to hear from you guys next, just how your relationship with social media has changed over the years. For me, the reason that I got on social media initially was because all my friends were there on Facebook when I was 14, 13 years old. We would post things. We like to make statuses. We like to post photos. We like to post videos. We would do live shows. It was a way to connect with my friends. Okay. Recently, Instagram, which is the only one that I've been reading, has just become suggested videos that I do not follow. I literally cannot see anything my friends post, which I'm realizing fewer and fewer of my friends are posting anything.
Yeah.
And then all I see instead is ads that I'm not interested in and suggested videos of babies lifting weights.
Okay, well, that's awesome.
I think is funny. And David, you're going to need some of those videos when you have your little boy. But I don't need to waste my time watching this.
Well, that's Well, that's what sorry.
That's exactly what I realized. The thing that I'm doing on here, scrolling, it's totally not useful to me in my life or what I'm trying to accomplish. David.
Well, I was going to ask, because I'm if we're having a conversation on social media, this sounds dumb, but I want to ask how we're going to define it because of how much it's changed, right? Because of so much social media has become short form video, I would argue social media isn't the same. And so like, I want to start by maybe defining what we would say is social media or not.
That's like a funny thing because Noah, the app you just described that we all experience, like TikTok is on the far end of the spectrum of why is it so valuable? It's because of the algorithm that feeds you videos that are targeted towards your brain.
It's not about who you follow. You're not trying to follow your friends. It's
actually not about anything that social, because what you were describing, when I look back at my Facebook memories from, hey, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, like it was like me in high school being like, hey, who's going to this person's house or so, just
airsoft tonight at 6. That's
exactly like just some stupid stuff that like I don't even want to talk about it, but just but silly high school or middle school interactions. And that's a good, just even pointing that out, David, like this new thing we're talking about isn't even that social in nature, but we call it social media. Like it's just kind of these silos of information and entertainment that we're feeding ourselves. So I don't know how to define it. I mean, I guess defining it, I mean, I'm thinking Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, those are my big. I don't consider Pinterest social media. That's separate. That's still on my phone. And I'll use my Pinterest.
I almost feel like we needed to drop the word social, right? Like, the way that most people use it is not the way that when social media was invented. It's not the same thing. So adding the word social, I think is the wrong definition.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's not social media. It's just it's like personalized entertainment media is like.
Yeah, and you have as much opportunity as anybody to create the content that goes on it. It's not like TV where some New York City people are making TV and you watch whatever's on. It's like, this is made for you by people that might be like you, and you think that you could be like them.
Democratization of media is what I would...
Yeah.
Oh, we could call it democratized media.
Yeah.
Or fragmented media.
Well, Noah, you don't have access to social media right now. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, I haven't been using it.
We haven't even done this. I want to just check in, David, what is on your phone right now? Like, what social media things are you tapped into right now? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And how do people find you?
The one I would use the most often is Facebook. And there are 2 specific tools I use on Facebook.
Marketplace,
baby. That thing is special. I love it. If you've never used Facebook Marketplace, just imagine one screen is a concrete goose, the next is a $200,000 speedboat, and then the next is a free pile of pallets, and it is the yard sale to end all yard sales.
Oof. Amen.
And then I use it. There's a few specific groups that I'm in, and so that would be what I like the most out of it. Is there's interest groups. So, for example, there's a 1980s Ford pickup truck owners group. So I'll go there if I have a question about that, or 4th gen Chevy or 3rd gen Chevy Colorado group, and I go there because I had some issues there. There's an Upland group I'll check on. So that's honestly my biggest use, is that I'll check X, Twitter every now and again. I try to keep Instagram off my phone because it's the biggest time waster. I'll sometimes put it back on, but right now I don't have it on my phone. So Facebook would be my biggest one.
So, David, I know that you sometimes will do a photo dump where you post pictures of you and your wife doing whatever random stuff you did last month. Why do you post that?
So I would say that still is a social aspect to me, in the sense of I do have a lot of, because I've worked at a lot of different churches and have a lot of older people who have friended me on Facebook. I'll post it on there because people that I'm not connected to. It's an easy way to we're doing well, without having that stress of reaching out to each one individually. So it's yep, we're still alive. Is the reason I post that every now and again. That would be my rationale behind why I do my photo dump with honestly, and I don't even put any captions or anything, just yep, here we are alive. And that's the same. Caitlin does that. because like her grandma and stuff like that is on Facebook, so she'll post on there. And I do feel like Facebook, to a certain extent, because it's not as popular amongst our generation, is less of a toxic space in the sense of like comparative, right? Like because you don't see Facebook influencers, you see Instagram influencers. In that extent, it's like, oh, it's like I can post these photos on here and I don't even care if I get one like, but I know that like my grandma would want to see this photo.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. No, I appreciate you having a real rationale and reason, because I just had to like ask myself, like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
What am I looking for?
Yeah. I have right now just like, boop, check in. I don't have any social media on my phone. I'll use my browser sometimes, to check Facebook and Instagram right now. But I have that as like my browser on my phone because it's so like clunky and like
hard to use. Yeah.
I will honestly see like news updates. Like I was using Instagram mostly because I like following like the Associated Press and like New York Times and stuff to like see like news updates what's going on. But then I just downloaded those apps like a couple days ago because I was like, I can get that information not from Instagram. I don't know why I just connected those dots. But me and Erica, I was probably a month ago, we both deleted, we just took all of our social media apps and Amazon off of our phones. And that's
including
been like
Amazon. Because the reels.
And Amazon.
The Amazon videos.
Yeah, for those nasty reels.
Which they did remove.
But, well, just like all the things that make us want stuff we can't have. We were just like, we're constantly having things in front of our face that's like, this is out of reach.
Oh, you're right. They did remove the reels. Sorry, I just pulled it up to...
Yeah, there's a thing about that. Yeah, so we're like, our snapshot right now is we don't have any, like, I'm using my browser a little bit, but even then it's just like super clunky and not very efficient and kind of takes the joy out of it. It makes all the apps boring. Yeah.
Yeah. So why would you say that you did that?
Well, so honestly, the root for that for us was we went into the new year and we're like, we want to do a better job of how we spend our money, just like week to week. And we just kind of looked at social media as this thing that was like, one, kind of what you were saying, Noah, when you spend time away, you forget how many advertisements are like just pushed in front of your face all the time.
It's just all ads.
It's just how much of your day is spent trying to be convinced to buy stuff. Like that's just like that's the currency. Like that's how these apps make money is to, you know what I mean? Like and for us, it was like, okay, let's start by weeding out the source of a lot of this like anxiety in our hearts about always wanting the next thing. And honestly, how it manifested, we realized this a couple weeks in. I don't know how long we've not had it. We realized a couple weeks in, it was like, if I'm scrolling, constantly seeing stuff I can't buy, or I'm like, gosh, I want that. When like, even if I don't buy it, when I go to Costco or when I like go to the store, I'm like much more primed to just like buy stuff.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I've been Amazon primed, but just like I've spent my days being like, well, I can't get that. I want to get that. And then I can see something in front of me in the store that I'm like, well, I'll just buy that. Or I'm just constantly wanting stuff. And I think that's something we don't talk about in just like how social media like affects maybe we do talk about it, but all of our other habits, because we're just being primed to like covet and want and be impulsive because we search for the thing or we do the thing or we chase the lead. And then in all these other areas of our life, we just become like compulsive shoppers or impulsive people, and just like, because that's just what we do with our downtime is we do impulsive stuff and we like just indulge ourselves with another video or another thing. So, wow, we didn't set anything up. None of us think social media is very healthy. And that appears to be a growing consensus. Yeah.
That appears to be a growing consensus. Like a lot of people are kind of saying that, like, it doesn't seem very healthy. And like all the research is showing that it's actually like super harmful, and especially for young women. Like there's a chart in the UK, they did a study the percent of UK teens that are depressed compared to the number of hours per weekday they spend on social media.
Ooh.
And so of people that spend 0 time on social media a week, like the depressed girls, teenagers in the UK, 11%. Okay? It goes up by every hour of social media that they spend a day. So just 1 hour a day puts you at 15%. 4 hours a day puts you at 25%. 5+ hours a day puts 40% of girls that are depressed are using social media 5+ hours a day. You know, it's just like, it's a clear indicator. And for guys, the number's lower, but that number still goes up, you know? And so it's like, I feel really depressed. Oh, well, I'm also spending a lot of time scrolling on social media. And is it just a cause or is it a correlate? Well, he goes into talking about like the things that we're watching and the impossible body types and the people who seem to be having amazing lives while you're depressed and sad and bored, you know? So it's interesting, Sam, to hear you even talk about just the like financial and the monetary aspect of it, because I think that's even more insidious that we just don't think about, that we're allowing the corporations to have our brains for multiple hours a day to try to convince us buy stuff and to become a person that's not who Jesus wants us to be.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Ministry and Culture Podcast. Entertain me. I texted you guys this a while ago. Just like I had the thought.
It was out of nowhere, just in the group. Out of nowhere. Chat.
Do you guys think that Jesus would have had a social media presence? Like, let's say he's here now. Let's speculate. Like, Jesus is here in our context, in our culture. Like, I don't know. Yeah, the time was right for the Messiah to come, and it was 2025. Like, do you think that he would do you think he would have a social media presence? Like, would he have an Instagram account, a Twitter account, a Facebook account?
Judas would be running a secret one.
Right answer.
Yeah. He gets it.
Take up your cross and follow me.
Okay?
Tell me I'm wrong though, right? Like that seems so appropriate.
How many people would try to make money off of him? You know? But I can't see him doing it himself. When Jesus comes in the first century, he doesn't go to the seat of power in Rome. He doesn't go straight to Jerusalem to like get the biggest platform he can get to speak to as many people as he can. He does ministry among real people in small towns. And he cares for real people and he heals the sick and preaches the gospel. And what makes me really sad is when pastors, ministry leaders with real people in small towns or small neighborhoods or small communities are not caring for the people in front of them, preaching the gospel, and instead they're trying to appeal to some platform audience that's out there.
Yeah. Well, when Mike Todd is preaching to the camera and not his congregation.
Did you just call out Mike Todd?
He named names.
I'm sure Mike Todd is very concerned about
Make sure to at him in the show notes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know the guy. That's a big
know the guy.
Pastor. I don't know the guy, but like pick your person that is like they have more Facebook streams than they do people in the room. So like, who are you preaching? Like, you're preaching to the larger audience in that moment. I guess you make that argument. Just to like further this point, I was thinking about this and I think this is kind of funny. I had the thought, I was like, I don't think Jesus would have had social media, but I kind of feel like Paul would have. Like,
interesting.
Because to me, Paul is very much like that, like church planting pragmatist.
Going to the cities of biggest influence.
Oh, yes. That's interesting.
And all the things you described, David, about like, here's all these groups for things. Do you think Paul would have had a group for Ephesus and church leaders in Ephesus to pray? You know, like things we do with Facebook groups. You know what I mean? So just like, I don't want to, and I have my opinions. Maybe I'll like take the side of, just for argument and talking about it, like to, kick it around. I could take the side of it's a good thing and we should be doing it as churches. Because like, okay, my church has a social media page. Noah, does your church have a social media page?
Yes.
David, does your church have a social media page?
Yes. But I also want to talk about a church that did not. So we'll get there in a second.
Okay. Just like
the church that didn't have a social media
the
page.
Church that the church you've never heard of. But like, yeah, I think it can. I don't know. I don't want to skip. I just think I think the idea is funny. It was funny in my head. I'm glad you guys laughed. Like, Jesus wouldn't have social media, but like Paul would be like, yes, we need. This is a tool that we can leverage for the advancement of the gospel. And I think some people, I'm more along the lines of, and maybe you've noticed if you're an avid Staircase to Nowhere fan, what do we call our fans? Our treads? Our
steppers?
Our steppers? Like, I mean,
which tier of fan are you talking about?
We're spiral staircase.
Yeah,
if you're following,
if you're a stepper or above,
yeah, when we were on a call the other week, I was kind of like, I'm done with social media, like for the show. Like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like, I'm just kind of over it. And they were like, yeah. You guys were like, yeah, cool. And we posted like a thing that was like, okay, we're done. If you want to get in contact with us, we'll mail you some postcards and send you an email thing or whatever. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. I'm rambling a little bit. So somebody interrupt me. Those are some of my fun thoughts. I will share
why I'm not doing social media for my youth group.
There you go.
So like, last time I did youth ministry, we had an Instagram page and I spent a decent amount of time like trying to make it look really nice. And like, that's when it was all about having really good photos. And so I'd post a really good photo. And I just had a hard time getting the people that I wanted to see it.
The return on investment, yeah.
The return on investment is so low when you're spending all this time, and like the nice photos didn't work anymore. So then it was all about reels, and so then I'm taking the time to like produce a reel. And I know a lot of churches that do, even like youth groups that have their like staff spend time making reels to remind a 15-year-old that we have youth group tonight. Please come. And that 15-year-old may or may not be following you. Even if they are, they may not see your stuff. Like, their algorithm is probably girls in bikinis, not your church page. Yeah. Like, you think
Real
that
talk.
you're...
Yes. Yeah.
You think you're reaching your 15-year-old. They're not seeing your thing. And that's, like, a really poor way to try to communicate with people. So for me, like doing youth ministry now, my first thing was I'm making a parent email list. And I'm just going to email all the parents every week.
This is what's happening.
Yeah. Yes, here's the things that's happening. Here's things to look ahead to. Let me know how I can serve your family. And I get parents responding to me. Like, they feel like I'm being very communicative. I've had parents walk up to me and like just share things about their student and like where they're at in their life and their faith. And I feel like this writing an email to parents is a way better use of time than me trying to create a video for a child that's probably not going to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like because I get the like, the outreach side where people want to make.
This is where the people are.
This is where the people are. I think just like what the like books like the Anxious Generation stuff, what they're highlighting or maybe what they're revealing is like, yes, this is a place for outreach. But in my mind, I'm like, this place is a lot more dangerous than maybe we've been thinking about. Like in the context, like we're not doing outreach in like a public park. Like we're doing outreach in a really like dangerous setting.
Dark alley.
In a dark alley. Yeah. Like, and outreach needs to happen in both of those places. But I think we've just been treating, so maybe just because it's so new and it moves so fast and all that stuff, but we haven't treated it like a hostile environment. Like we're treating it like, oh, this is a fun place where like, we're just here. We're trying to reach the people. I think honestly, like if we use our show as a super, super small example, like we don't have a big presence or anything, but it's like anything we're trying to do is get people offline, is like go into your communities, like go be embodied in your church, like we don't want you to be a part of some online, presence
for our
or
digital
something.
disciples.
Yeah, like I feel like that's what's changing for me when I think about social media and outreach and ministry. It's like this place is actually dangerous, and I don't know if I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm more like, I feel like it'd be more worth my time to walk away and say, encourage people to do the same and say, hey, but then I like shout out to incredible like resources. Like I think about the Bible Project, and like if you are seeing good quality, gospel centered content on your feed, like that's good. But I just feel like the landscape is more treacherous than than we've wanted to admit. That's just something I wanted to say.
Have you guys encountered many sizable churches without a social media presence?
No, absolutely not.
Like a big church, but no social, or like not a lot of social. I can't say that I have. I can't say I've looked that hard either.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to find them, right?
Hey.
One of the biggest churches in the Indianapolis area is a church called I-Town. And I-Town, I couldn't give you numbers, but huge church, part of
multi-campus,
part of the Association of Related Churches, like Church of the Highlands, down in Alabama, Chris Hodges. Anyway, and in 2020, got a lot of press because they didn't shut down, and like it was when the governor of Indiana said like you can only have gatherings of up to 10 people. So in a couple weekends, they had like 70 services for 10 people, right? And so because of that, they got a lot of social media attention, both positive and negative. And positive and negative would be an opinionated term. They just got a lot of social media presence
from people with different opinions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know exactly, but basically because of that, they erased all of their social media. And still to this day, they have zero Facebook, Instagram, nothing like that. And it was intriguing because Caitlin and we had family who was going to that church, and we were like adjacent enough to it. And we had, we knew some of the pastors, and it felt interesting because the rumors and talk around was like, oh, they're trying to hide something, right? So it almost was like it was like what they were presenting is like, we talk about how social media is dangerous, so we're not going to feed into that. But then the narrative that was winning is like, oh, they don't want the public to see what's happening in this service. And that's always been something I think about with churches and social media is like, even by not having a social media, you are communicating something to the masses.
Yeah.
I don't know. Any thoughts on that? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it feels like maybe we just want to be cooler than we are on this call, but I feel like the no social media thing is more of like the anti-culture, like it's more countercultural to like say, no, I'm not gonna like put my life and all myself into an app. Like I'm not gonna buy into the idea that I need to be on social media. Like, and I feel like that's what the church you're describing is kind of saying that like, this is not a thing we have to do. Like,
right.
Nobody's like who to be like, well, you need to be, I would almost argue as Christians, we have more of like an obligation to say like, to kind of, shake people by the shoulders and be like, who told you had to be this way? Like, you don't have to buy into that. Like, and I think that's what, I think if Jesus were doing ministry like in our streets and in our country today, he'd be shaking people more like that and saying like, who told you? Who told you that this was the system that you had to give yourself to, that you had to like, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I just think that's interesting that it's so jarring that we're like, why isn't this church on social? When that's almost like a really interesting, like countercultural stance to be like, yeah, we don't like, we exist here. We don't exist in this digital
ether. Yeah.
The digital ether. Like we exist in real life. Like
Come and see.
Say it's not real life.
Come see what we're up to.
Well, and
exactly.
They also like rent out one of the big like broadcasting, that Sunday mornings, last I heard, they still like rented out one of the main channels that morning. So they obviously are, and they have a very
they're live streaming their service.
Right, they have a big YouTube, they have a church online. So, it just was like, we want people to hear. We just want to control the channels is my guess. I don't know. I don't work for them, so I can't. Go tweet at iTown and see if you can figure out why they're doing it.
Well, and it's so interesting, right? Like, because then people who are far from God and like are thinking, like we're nerds and dorks thinking about this stuff like on a podcast about like not everybody spends their time thinking about this. Like the average person is like, hey, I'm interested in getting connected to a faith community. I'm going to look them up on Instagram. Like I'm thankful that people in my neighborhood can look up my church on Instagram and message and say, what time of service can I come? Or like, I'm glad that they can do that. Like, I'm glad people have been able to, with our show, message us and say like, hey, I have this question, like whatever. I think just thinking about our show, because that's the only thing I have to go off of, right? Is like, even when we were thinking about social media, I'm like, what's the best case scenario? Like we capture someone's attention for like 6 seconds. Like that's the best thing. Like with like putting out content, like, and then they forget about it 2 seconds later. Like that just doesn't feel like a meaningful thing or something I want to invest my time into. But maybe a landing point for somebody who's like, I'm curious about what you guys are doing. I'd like to learn more. And then it's a front door into like a door into an invitation to come learn more. This is where we're actually having these conversations on the show, on Spotify, on whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I think of a website that I like called The Verge, and The Verge, like for a long time, like counted on Google to send people like to their articles, and they counted on Facebook and Twitter. Like if we put links of our articles online, people are going to click it and they're going to come see it. And they just like found out, like they're a company that has trackers of this is how they make their money. They found out that they're getting less and less and less clicks from the platforms, from Google, from Facebook, from Instagram. Like people are not clicking their link. Maybe they're not seeing it. Maybe they're not interested in clicking it. Maybe they just want to scroll to the next video. And so they were like taking this just direct to individual kind of approach. And it sounds like that's what iTown's doing too. Like we've got our YouTube page, like come see our YouTube page, and that's what we're doing with the podcast. So we've got a podcast page. It's come see our podcast page, but trying to compete and put our stuff on a platform next to all this other true junk. Like it just doesn't feel useful. It doesn't feel fruitful.
Can I say something that I have absolutely no
that's why we have
grounds
a show
to stand on?
Yes.
I've really been getting into, not intentionally, but economic theory the last couple of weeks.
How? Let's YouTube? Go. Did YouTube do this to you?
No, we had a world-renowned economist come to campus and was like, oh, I better learn about the economy.
His name is Ben Shapiro. Ever heard of him?
That is not who we had come to campus. No, you're fine. But apparently, this is news to me, so I don't know. You may know about this. So for a long time, most people were like in a serfdom type of scenario, right? It wasn't a free market, right? People were working on the land for some, these kings that would own these lands and things like that. And you would not own your property. You would just work for this lord who owned, thousands of acres of England.
And you
guys aren't doing that?
The serfdom, right? And the theory is we are returning back to a iteration of serfdom in the sense of it's a digital land that you do not own. You have no say over, but you go in and you clock in and clock out on a land that you have no ownership of working in that space, right? So think about the app that we're using to communicate. We have no ownership over this app. The place we put our content out onto, we have no say over that, right? And so it's this like return to serfdom, and that we're working for this tech oligarch king, right? So yeah, if anyone knows anything about that, it's like digital serfdom or digital something like that. So if you know anything about that, have you heard of this theory at all, y'all? You too?
I haven't, but I love the thread you're pulling, and I feel it, and now I feel gross.
How dare we? Yeah. No, the internet has just changed so much of the economy and everything, because like, just think, if you wanted to find something out before, you had to go find it in a book. So you had to either buy the book or go to a public library that like kept the books. And a public library is like a public institution, like that is a keeper of knowledge, and there's people that curate and stuff. And now there's the internet, which is just like unfettered. Anyone can put anything, but you don't own it and you don't expect to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're looking for the free information, but it has to be paid for somehow, because actually running the internet is not free. It does cost money to do this. And so like, that's why I think a lot of these websites, influencers are now doing just like direct pay me. It's like, we have Patreon, pay us directly. Like, this is the business model now. Like, if you like this information, please pay for it.
It's still part of being a serf.
That's a platform, right? You would be on Patreon's platform.
It's also our shameless plug for our Patreon.
Yes.
Which does not exist.
Be our patron saint.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Well, I feel like we didn't really have a goal with this discussion other than
except to tell all of you need to delete social media immediately before it's too late.
Yes,
it's corrupting your brain.
Yes, the goal is to kind of go around the room and say, where are you guys at and why are you there? And like, just kind of talk about that a little bit like we do when we are together in person at dinner or something. Like, we've done these staircase to nowheres or something, just like a summary thought. Or like, do you guys have any like final, like just kind of like final, I will say, and at the point of my own pride, I think or like the idea that kind of really has surfaced for me in this conversation is like rethinking the landscape that social media is. It's not a public park. It's a dark alley. And like, as we're thinking, like even thinking about outreach or how we're encouraging people to spend time, it's like, yeah, outreach needs to happen there, but like the way that you think about preparing to go into that space is different than you like think about going into just like a well-lit public park or something. So I think I really like that idea of like, because that's how I feel. I just feel like dirty and like, like I feel like I am at risk if I spend a lot of time on social media. So I just think that, as we've talked about, that's the thing that surfaced in my head. You guys have anything?
Yeah, I like how you said that it seems like Jesus would not have social media, but Paul probably would. And I think that is a good contextual reminder that maybe there could be some people who do devote extra resources towards creating a digital ministry, like the Bible Project has,
like Staircase to
Nowhere. Now, but like I think that it is valuable that there are some churches out there that post like very well produced worship services that people can watch. I do think that there are some people that are in the hospital, people that are sick, people that are at home, that like it is good for them to watch service on YouTube. I don't think every church should be doing that. And I don't think every church should be devoting their time to having a great social media page. I don't think that that's a good use of your time, because I think the return on investment is low. And like there's whole industries like teaching churches how to have better social media. And I don't, at the point where social media is today, I just don't think it's a good use of time. And I actually do appreciate like Southeastern Seminary, when Twitter removed all their like content restrictions, they just said, we're not going to be on Twitter anymore.
Oh, wow.
They said like the seminary is pulling all of our Twitter accounts, and they had like some very like bigger like accounts about, they had some big tweets, okay? But they had some
huge tweets.
they had some bigger accounts with like the Center of Faith and Culture, and like they had some like influence there on Twitter when Twitter was a big discourse place. And they just said like, we don't want to be next to content that we can't agree with.
Yeah.
And so we're out. And I really respect that opinion. I think that more churches, like especially smaller ones or that don't have the resources, like should really consider, is that a good use of your time? I think youth pastors like spend your time talking to parents more than trying to direct to the kids. And this Anxious Generation book says that anyone under 16 just doesn't have the mental capacity to handle like having social media and learning the impulse control. So I think that that's a good thing for us to teach people under 16. It's not for you. And I think that it's something for us to consider as churches and ministries. Like, is it a good use of our time? And even for personal, is it a good use of my time to be scrolling? And what's my purpose in posting this?
I think the challenge for myself is similar to like, you hear people say like, you don't ask an alcoholic like, oh, why don't you want to drink? Or like, why don't you like when people are at a party and they say, oh, I don't want to drink, you don't like press like, why not? And so I think like it's not necessarily if people aren't on social media or don't like social media, it's like there's no need to press into it, right? Like, and if they want to press into it, they can say, yeah, I realized it was really bad for me. And so I think that's a good reminder too. It's like if someone says they're not on social media, they're probably braver than you. So
yeah. Love it. Hey, good job. We did season 3.
We are so back,
done.
boys.
We're so back.
When we come back next week, it will be season 4.
Each episode's a season. We're going to have 100
format.
Seasons.
Okay.
Check our Instagram for all the updates.
Yeah. So the 2 things we have to plug. One, our email is still alive and in action. If you have questions or comments, you can email us them. I will also mention, if you want to, you could like record a voice memo and email us the voice memo.
And if
you wanted to like not type it out, we'd probably play it on the air, because I think I could manage that from a technological standpoint. I could get that ball across the finish line. But yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts, all the things we didn't talk about, all the jokes we didn't make on today's show, all the threads we didn't pull.
Tell them the email.
staircasepod@gmail.com. It'll be in the show notes. We also, because we're just not going to mess with Instagram anymore because not a good ROI, we made this little form. If you want to connect with us further, you can give us your name, your address, and your email. And I can't even tell you exactly what you'll get yet, because we're like 60% sure, but we just want to find some more fun ways to connect with people other than just like, please like our post. We'd rather like send you a postcard, or
we'll mail you a Twizzler.
Mail you a Twizzler that David's holding. Or
that's so nice of
maybe
us.
Put you on an email list where if we have more succinct thoughts about our social media consumption, maybe we'll send you some sort of blog post or something. I don't know. We're going
to do a Substack so you can pay us for our thoughts.
Those are the ways to further connect with the show. And there'll be links in the show notes. Or you probably know where we live if you're listening to this. So you can also just come talk to us.
Odds are pretty high.
Odds are pretty high. If you don't know where we live, if you asked really nicely, we'd probably just tell you, because that's the kind of guys we are. All right. That's all I had to say. You guys got anything else?
I gotta go check my Facebook. I'll see you guys.
I gotta scratch a digital itch. I gotta get gone. Oh man, didn't get a laugh. Just got a.
I laughed. Okay. I laughed.
I got afraid of digital itch.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna end the show on my botched.
See your doctor if you have a digital issue.
For all you digital disciples.
Yes, Jesus is the bomb that soothes our digital.
ALM, not OMB.
Bye.